Joss had tried the phone again. It was still dead. Laura had spent the afternoon cleaning the house thoroughly and had pushed Emily in her chair over to the table. Joss was worried, pacing around the pair, running his hands through his hair, a sure sign that he was agitated. What's to be done about Matthew? Do you think I ought to go on up to Appleton and see if he's pitched up at all? No point in that. It's a fair way to go for a wasted journey. As ever, Emily was on the right side of reason. He's a big lad by now. Well, no use worrying, I suppose. Milking time. He picked up the milk can, gazing across the yard. The low, contented murmuring of the cows, the put-putting of the milking machine, mixed with Walter's whistling and the clang of milk churns, was no different to any other day in the year. Something else was decidedly odd. Only it took a few minutes to sink in. A tall figure was standing to one side of the yard. The two sheepdogs, Tip and Bess, would normally be barking madly and straining at their chains with the approach of any stranger. But they were quiet, gazing up at the man. Joss walked forward, puzzled at their silence. Well, I'll be damned. Or sincerely hope not. The voice was humorous, warm and rich, the clipped accent strongly flavoured with Afrikaans. You must be Joss. The outstretched hand that gripped Joss's was firm and strong. Ah, that I am, he replied, completely taken off his guard. And you must be Winnie's lad. I can see the resemblance. The young man said nothing. Joss came to his senses. Oh, nay, lad, I'm forgetting myself. You must be neither. Come on in and welcome to Keld House. Thank you. They crossed the yard, Joss with the sense of awkwardness that comes from a lifetime of rarely seeing people from the outside world. In the porch, kicking off the boots he'd only just put on, he lowered his voice to a whisper. Your aunt, she's not what she used to be, Ambrosie. It just gets slowly worse. He unsnapped the door and pushed it open. The young man stood in the doorway, blinking in the light. Laura was sitting at one end of a laden table, polishing a brass candlestick. In another chair at the same table sat someone whose face was so familiar to him. The features were thinned and ravaged by the disease, but the intense blue eyes were very much alive. "Ah, we have a visitor," said Joss with a triumphant flourish of his arm, like a magician pulling a rabbit out of the hat. "Ambrose, Barnfather in person." "Oh, well, I never. He got here at last." Emily looked at the young face almost disbelievingly. "We've been fair minded about you, what with the phones being dead and all, and the weather so cold." The words came spilling out like beans from a sack. "I'm just wondering if you ought to go and get you and oh, I just don't believe it. Winnie's boy. Oh, my, you've grown since then." Well, she pointed to a colour photograph on the dresser of a fat, smiling baby. The young man smiled and walked over to her. She looked up at him as he bent and kissed her cheek. He was so very tall, she thought. The grey eyes filled with kindness, but also something else, unfathomable. Something way beyond all that. "Here, get your coat off, lad, and come and sit by fire and get those bones of yours warmed through." Joss introduced him to Laura, who had recovered her composure from the first shock of the town stranger appearing through the door, wiped her hands on her apron and shook his proffered hands firmly. Oh, it was all bustle and fuss. The Robertshaws were modest people who saw very few other visitors other than the local folk, and there was a sense of awkwardness to overcome. Winifred had left in the night all those years ago, never to return. Her bones in the soil of a far-off land. Now, here was their son, their nephew, newly arrived. Joss carried his bag to the stair bottom before the question occurred to him, how on earth did you get here? Well, he said, seemingly at ease already, the journey wasn't exactly straightforward. I tried calling you, but just got a strange sound, so I set off hitching up the road. Ah, lad, in this weather and all. Josh shook his head. It must have been a right shock after South Africa. I bet you near froze to death. Oh, I got very cold waiting for the first lift, in a baker's van, would you believe? But with the heater on full blast, he soon thawed me out. He paused again as if renewing the recent events of his journey. He continued, oh, I love the way those snow blankets everything. Wonderful. Anyway, my lift had to turn off in Conistone. I was prepared for a long wait. When as luck would have it, a vet picked me up on his way back from a farm and dropped me off in the village. Oh, Walter. Just had forgotten that Walter was out there in a freezing cowshed on his own. That was nothing unusual these days, but he hadn't even told him about the visitor. Excusing himself, he put on his boots and headed across the yard. Any misgivings he might have had about his nephew landing on them for Christmas had melted away in a few minutes they'd spent together, although he had to admit he couldn't really make the lad out. The milking finished, Joss had brought water in to meet the visitor. Nobody seemed to mind that he brought a liberal helping of the aromas of the cowshed in with him, and Joss hadn't seen Emily so fired up, as he put it, in months. The visitor's eyes missed nothing, noticing how these people cared for one another. Walter bade the visitor and Emily night and set off with Laura in his little green van, the metallic rattle of snow chains audible long after they had disappeared into a fold of